Hi, I'm Ellen. If this is your first time here, welcome. And if you're returning, I'm truly glad you came back. I spent 5 years trying to be the perfect introvert. I read every article about introversion, memorized every list of traits, followed every piece of advice like it was gospel. I forced myself to recharge alone because that's what introverts were supposed to do. I avoided social events because that's what the internet told me introverts should avoid. I tried to love books and hate small talk and find crowds overwhelming because those were the rules. But here's what I discovered. I was exhausted from trying to introvert correctly. I thought if I could just follow the introvert handbook perfectly, I'd finally feel at home in my own skin. But the day I stopped trying to be textbook introvert and started being me, that's when everything changed. For years, I carried this secret shame that I wasn't introverted enough. I'd read articles that said introverts hate parties, but sometimes I actually enjoyed them, in small doses, with the right people. I'd see posts about introverts needing complete solitude to recharge. But sometimes I recharged by having deep conversations with close friends. I started questioning if I was even really an introvert at all. Maybe I was just confused, or maybe I was one of those people who fell somewhere in between. The more I tried to fit the mold, the more disconnected I felt from myself. I remember one particular evening when everything started to shift. I just left a small gathering with friends, the kind I was supposed to find draining. But I felt energized, alive, connected to something deeper than myself. According to everything I'd read, this shouldn't be happening. I sat in my car afterward, feeling like I'd broken some fundamental rule of introversion. That's when it hit me. I was performing introversion instead of living it. I was so busy trying to be the right kind of introvert that I'd forgotten to notice what actually worked for me. I realized I'd been treating introversion like a strict recipe instead of a starting point for understanding myself. Maybe the articles weren't wrong. Maybe they just weren't written for me. Maybe introversion has as many expressions as there are introverts in the world. I started paying attention to my actual patterns instead of the ones I thought I should have. I noticed that I did need quiet time, but not always alone. Sometimes with people who felt like home. I discovered that I could handle social situations beautifully when they aligned with my values and interests. I realized that my sensitivity wasn't just about sound and crowds. It was about authenticity and depth. I learned that my way of processing emotions and experiences was perfectly valid, even if it didn't match the textbook description. The more I honored my actual rhythms, the more energy I had for everything else. I stopped forcing myself to recharge in ways that felt empty and started embracing what actually filled me up. Some days, that meant complete solitude with a book and tea. Other days, it meant intimate conversations that went late into the night. Sometimes, it meant being around people without having to talk much at all. I began to see that my introversion wasn't a limitation to manage. It was a unique way of experiencing the world. My sensitivity became a superpower for noticing beauty and meaning that others missed. My need for depth became a gift for creating relationships that truly mattered. My way of processing slowly became an asset for making thoughtful decisions. The relief was overwhelming, like finally exhaling after holding my breath for years. I didn't have to apologize for not fitting the introvert stereotype perfectly. I could just be me, with all my contradictions and complexities. And for the first time in years, being me felt like enough. Your introvert heart doesn't need to beat like anyone else's. It doesn't need to follow the rules in articles or match the experiences in online forums. It just needs to be yours, honest, authentic, and beautifully imperfect. Maybe you're an introvert who sometimes enjoys parties. Maybe you're an introvert who recharges through meaningful connection. Maybe you're an introvert who processes out loud with trusted people. Maybe your sensitivity shows up in ways that don't fit the typical descriptions. All of that is not only okay, it's exactly right. The world doesn't need another textbook introvert, following someone else's blueprint for how to be. It needs the one and only you, with your unique way of moving through the world. Your quirks aren't bugs in your introvert programming. They're features that make you irreplaceable. Trust your own rhythms, honor your actual needs, and let yourself be gloriously, authentically you. Your introvert heart knows exactly how to beat. You just have to let it. Thanks for being here. I hope this helped, even in some small way. If it did, maybe stay with me a little longer. This next video might help even more.